to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They check second to 10.
Hey.
Will we see another miracle in Miami? It's the coach. This is week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, a second straight home game to begin the year for the Miami Dolphins as they square off with their AFC East rivals, the New England Patriots. We can only hope this year's game has as good a finish as last year's game-winning double lateral. But for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, ponchos and slickers, usually a necessity buy whenever you make your way to Hard Rock Stadium this time of year. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the sight of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we're ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the New England Patriots. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The children will grow, and it's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Ready! 18 Gator. Get it.
First down, and they're going to throw without him. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 54 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They go right back to White here on first down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Now on 2nd and 13. Allen. This is caught by Antonio Brown. A big play there on the catch and run. 47 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, Defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the two guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
Allen will try again on second down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. From 13 yards out. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here are the Dolphins now under first-time head coach Brian Flores. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
A check on Breida's numbers from last week. 20 carries, 85 yards.
That's a good start to the season. They got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started. And they expect
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bo Allen able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on third down, and you make the home crowd go.
There's a hush indeed. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like.
And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now an open man, that's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's 2nd and 8. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's intercepted. It's the all-pro corner, Stephon Gilmore. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Parker, the intended target. The disaster there, I mean, you saw it coming. The pressure gets knocked down, the interception.
Sometimes the best throw you make is the one you
don't make.
Exactly. Take care of the football. He'll also learn how to shrug his shoulders, take the proper slide steps to alleviate some of the pressure. But occasionally, like the one we just saw, sometimes just hold on to the football and take the hit.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw, it's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big. But sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz. And even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz call and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The Patriots send out their punter. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. Well, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring and moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there that they want to capitalize on.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
He's going to look deep down the field, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Patriots take over. Update now from a game going on in Pittsburgh. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They start to drive with White. And a hell of a run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll run with White. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Allen. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
is so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. First down, here's White. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd and 9, Allen. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 17-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll run on first down. White, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Allen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Seventh play in this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Hey, exit.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Go now. 60 Pittsburgh. Shoot.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
After the sack on 1st down, Allen throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Well, they are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Shut up. Let's get off the field.
They'll start on the ground with Breida, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. This is Breida. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, a run with Breida. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Oh, now Breida loses it, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
On first down, it's White. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, they'll run with White. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. New England on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun. Allen. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Allen now looks to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Matt Breida in the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far. Maybe
it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. They're going to look to throw. That'll be complete to Breida. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And they work this out past the 25. A gain of 22.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end, can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
On first down, here's Breida. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They run with Breida. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Edelman set to return. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now a carry for White. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
New England on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Allen. He's got the hook up to Lee. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen got a man. It's Brown.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on it. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
First down, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up a screen for Breida. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. On the delay, here's Breida. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on third down. A play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
Ready.
From the gun, Allen. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
That's it, baby. We got work.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we reach half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. Breida to get the third quarter started. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down.
dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And now Edelman, a nice little juke. 12 yards on the return that time, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over.
Now White lost the football. Well, this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight?
We gonna shut y'all down.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Mike Fofo, you can't block me. You can't block me.
Hey, high 7.
Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. And his throw here is incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field, and unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant to the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter gives us all that, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot. And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I don't even know why this team should.
Running with Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. They'll set up the screen to Balazs. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. So many different weapons available in that Patriot backfield. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A quick throw here out to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And he's into the clear. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Out comes his field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And last time, decent field position. The pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
On 2nd down, it's White. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved. And that'll set them back 5.
On the ready.
Chance.
22 jet bomber.
Allen. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock the Albert away and bring up 2nd down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Ready?
Allen from the gun, he'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Get it.
Now Allen operating from the gun. This will be caught by Brown. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They run with Howard. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. It's Wilson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Wilson now in his 2nd season in Miami. First 4 years were in Kansas City. He's always been a solid complementary receiver, but Miami really hoping he can take the next step in his development, be more of a go-to guy now at 27 years of age. Now Howard. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the 2nd half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 2nd and 9, Allen, and that's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Let's go!
Here's Allen to throw it. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Miami. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. They'll run on 1st down. White. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now Allen. It's caught. This is White. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
New England on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Over the middle here to Brown. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Allen going to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. A big loss here as he's taken down. A well-executed safety blitz by Tony Jefferson leads to the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Yeah, that's true. You've said that before.
Let's go.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field.
Here we go. Before the base. Check. Watch 54. Check.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. Gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of the quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 37. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep playing it. Just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Call it a gain of 3. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Dolphins on third down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 7. Oh, and they had it stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down, and that looked like a clear face mask to me. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Back to throw again. That's caught by Howard. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. On the handoff, this is Howard. Well, he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jordan Howard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this is secured by the Patriots. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
30 base.
Hey, tight end right. Watch tight end. 4 down.
They stay on the ground with White. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now this pass brought in by Brown. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Going on the ground, it's White. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
Set, ready? 70, Indy.
That's track.
Shoot.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's White. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Slant route caught by Elba. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. And sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3 here, and he is in. Touchdown, New England. James White, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin? Most times, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for the Pats, there was a